All right, good morning, good morning. Let's get in a little preparation here. Forecast, tick, 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 all the way to the top of the trend line for both. Oh, I don't really, yeah, we could start a new week and look at the weekie. That's probably a good idea, actually, coincidentally. Um, kind of looking at what's happened recently. Yeah, recovery of at least 50% of the week, bullish hammer on the weekly, big pop off, pretty clean on there. Yeah, something like that. So we might get a small continuation week, maybe a red tester to see if we're actually going to stay up here. That's all very possible. Sitting at pretty high up, above my daily and weekly bands and stuff, um, all the way towards the top of the trend line. So just because the week might be positive doesn't mean there won't be any pullback at all. I mean, it could be kind of like this week where it holds steady, doesn't give up the close of the week at all. Definitely possible. What does not giving up any of the week mean, really? Well, if I can barely get on the close here, maybe actually just kind of zoom in, get the magnet on, um, horizontal level. Oh, actually doesn't. It's strange. Whatever. I'll just 634.50 ticked down to maybe like 60. Yeah, so literally barely gave up any of it. We've already kind of given up more. Yeah, we've 100% already given up more than that last week did. So maybe not the best comparison. Although that wasn't all-time high push, all that. So definitely bullish. Although just kind of coming a little bit lower in the close. Nothing crazy. Still kind of bullish on the daily. We got almost over hot RSI. The full overhot RSI, like all the way, this is a modified daily RSI, full overhot RSI all the way to the actual line, often followed by at least a couple of right indecision, all the way to the line, big red. There's really not too many examples of all the way to the line, but it is today is certainly not one of them. But until then, could easily just keep tick tick grinding away. No doubt about that. Yeah, ES as well. Almost, although it doesn't get all the way to that line quite as often. Um, yeah, so not quite there. Could be a roll like these, 100%, but gonna need to see some calming down of price action, a little bit of actually rolling. In that case, it could easily just catch this little higher low off the average and keep on pushing upward. All right, looking at crush that gap, gap to gap, and then ended up coming back, filling plenty of price action in there, still leaving this gap. That's something to consider. You got double targets right here, the 423 and the 666, so that's definitely possible, definitely in the cards. I think this is locked. Yeah. Locked. Let's extend that out. Definitely in the cards if it wants to do that, if it wants to hold this 3618. Kind of like this. Or maybe we get this pullback towards 1618s and such. Definitely possible. I should actually drop a little. Oh, now the magnet wants to come into play. Should drop a little fib here. Oh, set it to, yeah, that one. Yeah, so we are up here though with the 423. So on the futes, I do have some targets up here, but it's definitely a pretty decent resistance spot, that's for sure. Looking at the anchor. Nope, still following the anchor trend. Nothing crazy. Got untagged buy signal anchors. Is that. TPOs. I got some Sangle plants down around here. Let's mark them off. Some simple lines. ES is like way down there. Create a group. Gold. Alright, easy enough. So we got a little bit of downside there in the NQ for sure, possible. And gaps this morning. Got a gap upside. I would not be surprised if this filled. Probably, I mean, 50 points up. Probably will fill at some point. Oh, this chart. Blocking me from my own chart. Whatever, that's fine. Let's see here. Remove that anyway, make a copy, put it on NQ. There you go. But anyway, swapping back to ES. Let's look at this hourly chart first. Yeah, as said, with the anchors, really strong grind up here. Got this. This is the original daily anchor from here. So it's that. Come back all the way down to the 1618. Yeah, which is kind of actually what I was really plotting and planning for. Come on back up. Grind all the way up to this 423. So yeah, we're sitting above this trend line here. I'd say we could easily squeeze out above if we want to. It has been bullish, but it is definitely in a good spot for some pullbacks. That's something to think about here. This trend line, stuff like that. And this is for runner potential. I mean, really, I'm just going to follow my system. Actually, a winning trade on the system right here at 750. So there's that. Let me actually bring up Ninja. The 15-minute, I think these anchors pretty decent. Definitely want to see it hold these zones, that's for sure. I mean, maybe even just say forget about that one. Just leave these two zones, decent little anchors. Let's look at the MAC stuff. Ninja on the side. Yeah, MAC dashboard stuff. Let's see, 4 down. Daily, putting in a red tick. Weekly, is this a triple top-ish zone? Don't know. But just keep it kind of mixed on these. It looks like the 4-hour and daily might be starting a down wave, but fractal, so this 1 hour could extend to the downside or could start to curl, depending on waves of the others, of course. Has not really seen below 0 in a little bit, so that could easily this 15 could then put in another down cycle here and start flowing down, spreading out the 1, spreading out the 4. That would though leave these top gaps unfilled, but put the TPOs in business, the single prints. So not too certain there. Which would be best? We'll see. There we go. We got the counts up. I gotta unrenew that one. So that's cool. So far, all right. What do we have here? Some real resistance off this 4 hour. Tried to get above it, got back below it. The 1 hour couldn't really get below it. The 1 hour still below it. 15 under the one. This setup could easily, yeah, because the daily's right here. Let's actually put the daily on the chart here. Yeah, so four's been over the daily. It could be starting to wrap down under. We will see. So yeah, I mean, I'd say high up there, could finally be deciding to roll. Can't quite just call it. At a good spot on multiple fib levels at the 423, kind of right under the 3618. So this could definitely be a spot for a good roll, but it could have been the whole time. So I mean, I think kind of actually not much to do here. So keeping that in mind for the runners, that there's potential for huge, large runners to the downside, but ultimately having to be careful of the very reasonable potential continued grind up. So I mean that'll kind of do it. Mondays, I'm not really too certain on many Mondays, so I'll leave it at that.